I read this at the last reading. I gotta go to Walmart and buy one of these things. Otherwise, you're just sitting there. I'm learning, right? I know what a GPA is, but where do you get financial aid? I know how to hold up the book right there.
Wanted to bring Brian on, and then
good.
Some questions from the letter.
Sure. I can hang around. Sit over there. You guys are in for a treat. Brian's really good.
Thanks, Juan.
Thank you.
Do you have one of these things, Brian?
No, I don't like it.
All right, our second reader today is Brian Carr, and one of the students is reading his short bus. Okay, one student reading book short bus, and the title story is that's based on your experience teaching down here, right?
I mean, yeah.
More or less.
Yeah, I worked with special needs kids for like 4 years or 5 years or something. When I was getting my MFA, I taught at Nicky Rowe. I ran what they call a self-contained unit, right? So I had like 20 students. And yeah, I probably cooked up the idea for the title story while I was doing that. Though I never took my kids to try to rob a bank, right? That's a pretty fucked up thing to do. No, we could have done it. Yeah.
You right one?
That was fucked up.
The one that we reserved for the Mexican reader. The white reader got a real nice signature.
So Brian's the author of 4 published. Did your 5th book come out yet?
Last was number 5, I think.
Second one's Vampire Conditions. 3rd one's Edie of the Low-Hung Hands, and then Motherfucking Sharks is an adult novel. Motherfucking Sharks
For the kids.
Public school. Get that one in the classroom for sure. The library, and I'll sign right off of it. And what's the new one though?
It's called The Last Horror Novel in the History of the World, but it's a novella. So. Yeah. So.
The question I asked Juan, you can answer it or not. You can say whatever you want to.
Okay. Cool.
Read or do whatever you want to. It's
Sure.
South Texas literature class. So, what writers did you read from South Texas that maybe took you on?
I would say that the 3 best writers from down here are Thomas Rivera, Yolanda Hinojosa-Smith, and Gloria Anzaldúa. Just because if their books came out today, they'd still be fresh. Se lo tragó la tierra, right? And the earth did not swallow him, devour him, whatever. If that came out today, it could be wildly influential. And I wish it did actually come out today. Because I think that it would have a much greater audience. I think that's one of the best books of all time, period. Especially American books. Not enough people read it. It pisses me off if they shelve it in the young adult section because it's not a child's book.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it makes me mad. And then The Valley by Yolanda Hinojosa-Smith. I'm going in order that they came out, right? If that came out today, it would blow people's minds. It's because of the way that he does narrative, the way that it's basically prose poetry, the way that he looks at this place and reinvents the notion of what a book could be, and not like a novel or one of the prefab genres for what a book is, but if you sit down with that book and read it for an hour, half an hour, whatever, it's a little bit hard to follow, but because it's ingenious, right? Ingenious things are difficult, but it's really quite brilliant the way that he looks at the valley. And then Gloria Anzaldúa is saying things that people still don't fucking get because they're stupid or assholes or whatever, And so I think if that came out today, people would still be like, "Damn, she's ballsy," right? So I think those are my 3 favorites, right? I like the novels George Washington Gomez and stuff. Maybe you've read. What else I'll read? Do I read Alvita Gonzalez or Do on the Thorn? I like those books too.
Did you ever read The Quixote Gold?
I have not, and so I can't speak. I can't speak that book.
I'm
sure I would. Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
Rainbow's End is also good.
Yeah, I just haven't read them. I mean, like I've read a whole bunch of books from writers down here. But then again, too, like me, what I like is stuff that's written in a. And I haven't read this book, so I can't really speak to them. but like say like George Washington Gomez or The Duel of the Thorn, the narrative of those, right, the way that they're constructed, it's fine, but right, it's more of your typical construction of it's a little bit more like a romance or a novel in that they function with like these clear agendas or whatever, and that's fine. But I seem to be drawn to weird books.
Well, you write more episodic stuff like Rivera and those short chapters. And
yeah, I would say that I probably try to work off what they do as well as like Donald Barthelme.
Right.
Right. So like for me, those are the Texas authors that I try to emulate a little bit more. So
that's how he also calls himself a postmodern writer.
Yeah, he very much is, and I mean,
Rivera is too.
Yeah, very much. They were doing. I guess a little bit after Brodigan, right, who did Watermelon Sugar and Trout Fishing in America and stuff, right? And there's a similar notion of brevity in all of those books, and I don't know if they're drawing. I've never seen them mention Brodigan, so I don't know exactly who they're drawing the brevity from. Could be Juan Rulfo, which is a pretty amazing Mexican writer. Pedro Peralta is a pretty amazing book, so confusing as hell.
Well, like the mass, Don Quixote for that matter. Thousands of
that's
stories.
The first postmodern. Well, I mean, like honestly, the
1,200 characters or something. Right?
Yeah. I mean, to me, the thing is I generally work off this like older tradition of what I like are books that are set up in the original tradition of books, not what comes to be known as the typical novel after the romance era. I like the Decameron. I like Don Quixote. I like the Bible. I like weird books. And then you have, right, the romance era novel. It doesn't blow my mind as much. It's fine. But the book that people like my stuff, people would be like, oh, he's trying to be innovative. No, I'm trying to be old school. But people don't read enough to understand. Right? It's functioning much more like the tradition, what the book was originally before it became and I like, modern era traditional novels too, but I guess like when I lose my mind over a book, it's because it's done in a way that you don't see as much. So that's probably why Thomas Rivera and Smith and Borderlands, Was that the main thing we were supposed to talk about? Is what I read? You don't want to know where I read? On the shitter. Even when I don't eat a poo, I just go in there, kick down the pants, read a book. Huh?
How do you do it for your feet when you fall asleep?
Ancient white trick, man. I'm telling it to you.
You see, they keep all the stuff in the stuff.
I know. We know what's going on.
Well, not everything you write is Sun the Valley by any means.
No.
And what have you got to read for us?
I don't know, man. I think I might read from the new book just because I haven't read from it very much.